Welcome back, everyone. I'm Hunter with the Any Given Monday podcast. Y'all know what we're doing here. It's time for UFC Fight Night predictions. Saudi Arabia, who's coming out the desert with a dub? We have all the answers for you. Y'all know how we do it. We're going to start off with our favorite prelim, and it happens to be the actual primary prelim. So don't get that typically. So we're going to do that right into the main card. And y'all know who it is. We are starting with Nasrat Haqparast and Jared Gordon. Nasrat Haqparast, yes, I'm looking at my cheat sheet because I can't remember everything. Y'all be okay. 10 knockouts, 7 first-round finishes. Jared Gordon, 7 knockouts, 3 first-round finishes. Both really solid brawlers. Both guys love to throw some hands. Both coming off a win. You know, we love our guys coming off win. We love our guys both coming off losses. Winner of this... So the odds are Nasrat 238 favorite, Jared Gordon 195 underdog, and we're not going to go with the underdog on this one. We're going with Nasrat Haqparast as our winner. Out of Morocco, by the way. So there we go. We're getting more and more, how do I say this? More and more countries in the UFC every year. If y'all are not watching The Ultimate Fighter, I suggest you go watch that. They have a dude on there. I can't remember where he's from. I don't think he's Polish. This man has Viking tattoos and everything. He's an absolute dog. I cannot remember his name, and I apologize, but he's winning The Ultimate Fighter. I'm telling y'all right now, he's winning The Ultimate Fighter. So next on our main card, leading off the main card, an absolute banger. We have Johnny Walker ranked number 7 against Volkan Ozdemir. I'm very familiar with Volkan, just not good at pronouncing names. Y'all know how that goes. Ranked number 8. Let's look at our little cheat sheet. We got 16 knockouts for Johnny Walker, 17 first-round finishes, but Volkan is an absolute dog too. 13 knockouts, 13 first-round finishes. This one was a little harder for me. There are a lot of fights on this that I think are going to be close. Like, there's not even really a favorite on this fight. They're both 112 to 108 favorites. I guess there's not an underdog. There's not a favorite. They're just really close. I think this fight can go either way. I think both these guys, are they both coming off? What are they coming off of? Let's look. Johnny coming off a loss, Volkan coming off a win. So, I mean, a lot at stake here. I am rocking with, and this hurts to say it because it's probably going to come back and bite me. I'm rocking with Johnny Walker. Confidently rocking with Johnny Walker. Don't get it wrong. Do not get me wrong. I think Johnny Walker comes out here and wins this. It's just with the odds close like this, you know they're going to go out there and someone's probably getting knocked out. Next, we have, let me get the picture in here, Shara Magomedov and Antoni Tricoli. Tricoli, this is his first fight in the UFC. Magomedov, this is his second fight in the UFC, winning his first fight by decision. One eye, by the way. Call him the Pirate. Actually, I did hear someone call him the Pirate. I wonder if is that his nickname? Or were they just trolling? I don't know. I don't see a nickname on here. Tricoli, really, really solid fighter. Not a lot of, how do I put this? Not a lot we can go off of right here. Not a lot of sample sizes. You got Shara winning by decision, and you have Tricoli first fight in the UFC. Not a lot of stats we can go off of. You got Shara a 258 favorite and Tricoli a 210 underdog. Now, this is actually, y'all know I love my upsets and my underdogs. My upset of the night, give me Tricoli with the W. We have Kevin Gastelum and Daniel Rodriguez. Kevin Gastelum coming in overweight. They agree instead of fighting at 170 to fight at 185. Dear God, Kevin, what have you been eating? I keep saying Kelvin. Dear God, Kelvin, what have you been eating? Let's adjust this a little bit. I feel like it's a little high. I mean, this man just in shambles. Kelvin came out and said he thinks this fight is a must win for him. If he doesn't, he probably won't be with the organization any longer. I don't disagree with him. I think it's weird when guys come in overweight like that, right? Because you're like, did they have an injury in camp? Why couldn't they get the weight off? What's happening? Is the weight going to be beneficial for them or is it hurting them in some way? So Kelvin is a 230 favorite to Daniel Rodriguez, a 190 underdog. I don't think the odds have probably been updated since the agreeal to fight at 185. Something is telling me rock Daniel on this one. I feel like Kelvin probably had an injury or something in camp, not allowing him to get all that weight off. He was like, but I have to fight. I'm thinking Daniel on this one. We love Kelvin Gastelum, but something in the pit of my soul is telling me Daniel Rodriguez is going out here to win this fight. Do I have a little? Couldn't make 170. I don't know. Fall. Yes, Kelvin Gastelum's fall off has to be studied. I mean, this man went from fighting for a title to about to be out of the UFC. Daniel's on a 2-fight losing streak, but he's fought actual dogs. Who did he fight? Ian Gary. He fought Ian Gary and someone else, but he was on a 4-fight win streak before that. So I mean, both these guys have fought top guys in the division. So it's going to be interesting. Well, top talent in the division, I will say. It's going to be interesting to say, give me Daniel Rodriguez. Next, we have Sergey Pavlovich and Alexander Volkov. I think this fight is going to be, if I could put a fight of the night on any of these, it's probably this one. Sergey, a knockout artist. Alexander Volkov, a knockout artist. One of these guys is probably going to sleep. If no one goes to sleep during this fight, we have to go back to the old gloves. There have been a significantly less amount of knockouts since the UFC switched gloves. I'm hoping for a knockout this fight. If someone is not asleep on the canvas this fight, something is wrong. You got Sergey at 238 favorite and Volkov a 195 underdog. I personally am going Sergey on this one. I wanted him to beat Tom Aspinall. I wanted to see him against John Jones, which we're probably not even going to see Tom Aspinall versus John Jones because he wants to fight a 45-year-old stump and Stipe. Now, Stipe been in the gym, don't get me wrong, but the older you get, that chin goes away. It doesn't get stronger. We're going to go Sergey Pavlovich on this one. I'm actually doing a really solid job of pronouncing names on this one. Drop a like and drop a follow because of that. Last but not least, we have our main event that actually just got changed last week. Ikram was supposed to fight on this fight night card last week against Tricoli, and he was a 1080 favorite. Ikram was. So I think this is probably the better move. Ikram, 2 fights in the UFC, 2 both first round knockouts, taking on Robert Whittaker, who has seen it all in the UFC. An absolute, I can't call him a journeyman. I'm going to call him an absolute dog, though, because he's fought just about everyone, if not everyone in the division. I mean, fought Izzy 3 times. Just can't get over that Izzy hump, unfortunately. We love us some Robert Whittaker, but it's going to come down to who I think has the better stamina. And with this being a 5-round fight, I don't know if Ikram is going to be able to outlast Robert Whittaker. Now, he can go out there and get the knockout. Robert Whittaker's hard to knock out, though. So I'm going to take number 3, Robert Whittaker, at a 155 favorite, Ikram a 130 underdog, which is really solid fighting number 3 in the UFC as your third fight. So I think he's an absolute dog for stepping up to that. And if Ikram wins, boy, does that skyrocket him into the rankings. But what's next for Robert Whittaker if he wins? I think it's really interesting. We really don't want to see Izzy versus Whittaker 4, do we? We really don't want to see that. I'm thinking Whittaker probably fought Sean Strickland, and then the winner of that fights Izzy. We're hoping it's Sean Strickland. Watching Whittaker and Sean matchup will be interesting. So we're going to run through the card one last time. I'm going Robert Whittaker as my main event winner. Our co-main is Sergey Pavlovich. Give me Daniel Rodriguez. Give me Antonio Tricoli, Johnny Walker, and last but not least, give me Nasrat Haqparast as my winners coming out in the desert on top. Let me know if you don't agree with some of these. Let me know if you agree with all of these. Let me know your fight of the night. Let me know if you're upset of the night down in the comments. Don't forget, like and follow.